Hello there, Nat Edwards with another round recap for you. Well, it was a dramatic start to the week with the round 5 fixture revised just 4 days out from the first game after the Queensland government shut its doors to Victorian clubs. It meant Carlton and St Kilda were thrust into the Thursday night spotlight at short notice. The Blues headed into the clash off the back of 2 straight wins. The Saints also full of confidence after toppling the Tigers the week before.
So Marsh, maybe the first shot of the night. No, he's going to push it to King. He gets a good look and he takes a beauty. Didn't play last year. He's guided at home. Cunningham going back. Good stuff to Plowman. Kick not really to the advantage of Kai. Gee, that is a good mark.
That was a fantastic mark by Long.
Didn't want to get too much more ahead here, the Saints. Handball came on that occasion. The Blues, Casbolt gives it off here to Noons. Noons goes inside 50, almost a mark, not paid to well. Picked up by Betts, round the corner, Betts kicks the goal.
The last few minutes, Geary, of course, getting the goal when he was on the bench. Geary playing the defensive role on Doherty. Marshall so impressive. Kicks on that. Geary, that is a great one-on-one mark. When Rats put him there, Joe, but I don't reckon he thought he'd have 2 to his name at quarter time. Let's see if he does. Yes, yes! You betcha! Can he get clean possession? She still did well there, didn't he? Just worked him away. Geary, the star of that opening quarter with a couple of goals. Only the second time he's ever had multiple goals. And now Gresham on the end of it. Gets inside 50. Goes right to the top of the goal square. Bouncing through for a goal.
Knocked away from him by Caulfield. Picked up by, on that occasion, Hill. St Kilda into attack. King has marked. Caulfield here with Walsh just able to run away from him. Too easy then. Sam missing that tackle that he'd normally make there. Over the top, Jones. Butler out the back door. Danger, 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 danger. Butler's going all the way. Danger, 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 danger. Butler! Butler, Butler, Butler!
Here's Cripps, good, hands out to Phil, kicks to the top of the goal square, Carlisle at the back, McGovern down to Setterfield wobbles at home. Hanbury, you think soft tissue immediately, don't you? Here's Setterfield's high ball, back to about 50. Oh, that is a mark! Long, that's a beauty.
Oh, that is a classic, Bruce. Long. What a superb mark that was. Mark of the year so far.
So Phillips kicked it full forward. Murphy just overran it. Gee, Geary, that was so good by Martin. He crashed into Geary and won the ball. Gibbons gets it out. Setterfield kicks his. Yes, he does. Kicks his second.
He's got the tracksuit on there, and you can see that wrap there. He's about to put some ice on, so he looks like he's done for the night.
There's McGovern.
Like a contest between him and Carlisle. Just a... 2 players going the ball.
Carlton surging here. Marsh inside 50. They haven't had many of them, the Saints, in this turn.
And the mark's taken by Battle. Battle turns, hits Billings on the lead. A 45-degree angle. Looks damn good. He has nailed the middle there, Billings.
Marshall out of the air. He's been a winner again tonight. Here is Geary getting it back to Membry. Has it got the legs? Oh, he is avoided. I think it's gone through for a goal.
Carlton live to fight another day.
They do. Doherty's poor kick doesn't get very far. Marshall having a big final turn. Billings wrong side for him. Good to Kent. Well, this to give what we think is an unassailable lead. Kent, that ball's coming back. Has it got the legs? Oh, that is a big finish, isn't it?
Good coaching from this St Kilda team.
Cripps burst away, left foot snap. No problems at all from the superstar.
The Saints march on to back-to-back wins, the victory launching them into the top 4. The loss soured, though, with a hamstring injury to Dan Hanbury. While it was an unwanted record for Carlton veteran Cade Simpson, the loss his 208th, the most in VFL AFL history. Over to Friday night footy we go now, and traditional rivals Collingwood and Essendon faced off in their Anzac Guernseys. The Pies went into the clash without vice-captain Steele Sidebottom after he was slapped with a 4-match ban for breaking the AFL's COVID-19 protocols, while midfielder Adam Treloar returned from injury for the first time since the season restart.
So around the corner, doesn't waste any time. It's a long kick, and that's a goal. No problems. Shield the tackle. Elliott funneled out to Goey. Long handball. Cleared the congestion. Now Maynard, the defender, and he puts it down the throat of Stevenson. Checking out the wind here, Stevenson. Everything is left to right. This time throwing the ball in the air. What about that? And that's going beautifully. That's absolutely magnificent. Stephen has two very, very quick goals.
Heard the call. Pendlebury was good. Langford couldn't control it. Good hands in close, and Dacos kicks a Dacos goal.
So they've gone backwards here to find space. That was a low ball that Chris couldn't get hold of. The Bombers pick it up, and here they go. Big opportunity over the top. This will be the easiest of goals to Parish.
So Grundy right on top, isn't he? Well done, Phillips, that second effort. Hibbert with that big body of his. Gets it forward 50. That was clever by McKernan, and he's kicked the goal.
McGrath there, rescued it, got it to Sard. Sard out wide to Smith. I tell you what, they're open over the top, especially if they have a win here. Laverde around the corner, horrible kick. Gee, it's going to make it to Stringer, is it? Farco missed it completely. From 48 metres out, goal. That is a goal, and can you believe it? The Bombers are in front. Pushed into the contest by Ham, the run by Shield, the handball out wide is very impressive to Snelling, goes into McDonald to Woody. Smith, Maynard, 2-on-1, Maynard wins, impressive stuff there from Maynard. Handball to Hoskin-Elliott, to Brown, back to Hoskin-Elliott, now they go. Gee, the run-down tackle from Woody, put him off the kick, and that's a great example of the way the Bombers are playing tonight. Little kick, wanted Myatek to come back. Myatek did, now to Goey, trying to show them all the clinks and the heels, swings around, what a goal, what an effort, to Goey. Gee, the umpire got in the way, did it hit the post, or did it hit the umpire? Goodness me, what a crucial time.
I believe it would have been a goal, like to check that the ball just wouldn't have hit the goalpost.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, I'm satisfied if the ball did not hit the goal umpire, it would have hit the goalpost. Decision on the scoreboard.
Oh, boy, we will never really know. Wants to reel and go. He does. Stringer was loose. The kick wasn't what it should have been. Stringer to the boundary. Great smother. Maynard, brilliant.
How good has he been tonight? That's textbook. That's exactly what you want.
He's the competitor's competitor, isn't he? McDonald, Woody, it's going to go through.
Phillips, Shield, and it's this team, Stringer, to make it a 27-point lead. Stringer's got it. He's got it.
Dacos sizing it up to Taylor Adams. Adams with a good kick to about 30 metres out, and Stevenson.
Grundy. Knocked down, Brown, this is Callum, tackle to the ground, did he have Pryor?
Just tackle, Collingwood. Just tackle Collingwood, yeah.
I reckon his momentum is going forward there.
He hasn't slung him.
And his head hasn't hit the deck.
No, that's a terrible decision.
There's the target. Collingwood are back in this game, Main. Soaked it up, now Callum Brown's on the end of it, neat ball to Cox. Dropped the mark, should have taken it, recovered it, wanted it Adams, didn't give it to him.
Advantage! Collingwood advantage!
Paid, Farco can run into an open goal, gets them within single figures. Hot Stringer, got support, wants to go inside, kick, just couldn't balance. Main, crisp, Moore, I think he's been picked. For a little bit of security, nicely done. Beautifully manicured kick.
Hibbert goes back to Hurley. Hurley gets a fair bit on it, doesn't he? Kicks forward 50. Langford takes a really crucial mark. And Jakey's wounded as well. So here's the Stringer injury. So
umpire unsided. Knocked down Phillips. Good tackle, Shield. Snap, goal. Bombers are going to win.
So the Bombers notching out their third win for the season. Essendon star Jake Stringer, well, wasn't he impressive? 3 goals, but a serious ankle injury late in the game will have him on the sidelines for around 3 months. Into the Gold Coast hub we go now, and the Swans making the trip north to face West Coast at Metricon Stadium. And it's fair to say the Eagles haven't been happy campers in the hub on field. The team yet to taste success since round one. Can they turn their fortunes around?
Overcooked the handball to Nelson, who's back into the lineup. Heaney came hard, but he left the pill behind. Might still work. Florent hands it up to Hewitt. Kickable, runs to 40. Time to steady. Got it. Gets through the traffic, but turns it over to Ronk. Trouble here. Heaney over the top. Barras trying to shut him down. Heaney will think his way through it. Rolls it home. Delightful.
Nearly disposed of the ball. Then Kelly might have thought he had the ball here and just tackled him without the ball.
Top of the square, centering kick. Almost it is. McLean.
50. Move out. You've got the ball. Liam, stop. Clear it out. 50. Clear it out, guys.
So a 50,
Don't
which will be a 3. Oh, Parker went hard. And now there's a report. Ex-Cat, 7 games for Geelong. Spears it, and that's a brilliant grab high from Oscar Allen. O'Riordan. Florent. They need to be quick here. Seconds ticking down on them. Good grab, Darling.
It's a dangerous kick.
Time for one mark if Shuey can get it forward quickly, and he does. Waterman to have a crack from 52. Drop punt. Going for a 55-metre drop punt. He's gone there. It was a monster.
But just an update on Luke Shuey. He's out with a hamstring. He has been sore in the last few weeks, but that's a different injury.
Having a really good spot here. Purple patch at the moment. Florent trying to stop it. Off hands, Rowbottom opens it up. Hewitt's already kicked one. Great dance step. Loops the handball, and McLean's got a couple. Here we go again. Nat Nui with the palm. He got his own work back, and he kicked a massive goal. Is it touched, though? Is it touched? Hang on.
Yeah, it's his face.
It may have hit his face.
Caught a bit of beard on the way through.
Yeah.
Had he shaved this morning, that's a goal. So Clark into the team this week. Huge lead. Barras! up and away.
Just hovered up there, Dwayne.
Goes up, tries to do likewise. Yo got through them with a bit of strength. Waterman out the back, over the top. Darling. Top of the square with the kick. Ryan caught front of the pack. Didn't get the run and jump at it. Cripps had the last one touched, and they couldn't touch that one. Delivers that with a ribbon on it to Ryan. He floats it up to Oscar Allen. Struck it well, brings it back, perfection again. Scrambles the kick away, race on. We know McInerney's got the Jets, but Waterman about to shut him down. Got him, ball. Brilliant chase and tackle. This must be fun to watch if you're a West Coast fan. Seeing this, Allen, and seeing Allen. The kid can play, we know that. Alier against him. Natney with a flick back to Gaff. Spectacular.
Harlem Globetrotters, Dwayne.
Ryan looks up. He got it from Jones. He gave it to Kelly. He gave it to Cripps to finish it all off. That is as good as it gets.
Review complete. Looking at these angles, we can see the ball appears to move after it hits the goalpost.
Okay.
And there's a clear spike on edge.
And the sleeping giant of the competition is awake. 34-point victory.
Finally, a win for West Coast up in the hub after a dominant second half against the Swans. Bad news on the injury front, though, for the skipper, Luke Shuey, finishing the game on the bench with a hamstring complaint. The loss, the second in a row now for the Swans. And we are off to the Cattery now. A huge occasion for Geelong, with champions Gary Ablett and Joel Selwood celebrating their 350th and 300th games, respectively. And what a way to notch up the milestone, with Ablett facing off against his former side, Gold Coast. A highly anticipated clash on paper too, with the Suns in red-hot form after 3 wins on the trot.
Back of the pack, Holman. And he'll get a free kick as well. He's a feisty young player. Doesn't look like he's got the legs. Hands it off to Weller from right on 50 for the perfect start for the Gold Coast Suns. Dalhouse drops his head. A lot of Suns around the footy. Harbrow needs to be good. Tries to release it. Done with the footy.
He's worked his way into the contest nicely.
Here's a chance for Ablett on 50. Measures a ball. Got Myers out the back. Radagalia's deep. Myers running hard inside his attacking 50. There is Radaglia. Well done, Ballard. Problems out the back, though. Hawkins runs into an open goal. Big Tommy's got 2.
So just need to find that defensive balance. Rousing trouble, boys, in the middle of the ground.
Shoulder.
So all the big boys going down at the moment.
They've done that a number of times, and they do look to come into the corridor when they get the chance.
Well, a driving ball forward. King, he's got out the back. He's got some toe, this man. Does he get the right bounce? King, he does.
He's kicked it. You said no rain.
No, sticking with that. Hawkins grabs it out of the ruck as Hawkins got 3, he does.
As he tries to brace, you don't really see it from that angle. It's the other angle where you see him try and brace. His elbow hits the ground and all the impact goes up through the upper arm and through the shoulder.
Fort falls on his backside. Miller immediately extracts it with a driving ball forward. Good marking contest from Day. Bowes just steps through traffic. Beautifully done. Then sends the ball forward. Good stretch from Day. Pretty good normally from this distance. His last kick was an absolute beauty, and this one is the same. Here's Parfitt again, bursting through the middle of Cardinia Park. Good ball forward. Hanley cut it off, couldn't complete the mark. Dalhouse dangerous, round the body. Another one for Geelong. Spits out a hand pass, casual from Rowan. Is effective. Hawkins squaring ball, Menengola. So he's in and out of the side a little bit. He's a good player though. Unloads some distance. It's another one from the Cats. They've kicked the last 4 of the match.
That's just shot them in the foot.
Menengola, long ball forward. Ballard, Dangerfield, a bit too strong. Back to Duncan. He's racking up the possessions now to Blitzarv. Immediately gives it off by hand to Stephen from deep in the pocket. Jack Stephen, there you go. Jack Stephen nails it for the Cats on a big day for the footy club. Toe pokes it to Guthrie. Dangerfield explodes onto the footy, keeps it in. Nicely done, Paddy. Low ball forward to Hawkins. Oh, Ablett was there for the handball. It was probably a bit too tight.
They want to get one too.
Yeah.
It's on. There it is.
There's Gazza.
He's going to go play on, is he?
Ablett from outside 50 with a booming drop punt. 350 games to the master. What a goal that is.
They're not going to get carried off. They're going to walk off, arm in arm. Great to see. Something to aspire to for all those Gold Coast Suns players out there.
Well, the perfect way to celebrate 2 of the game's greats in Ablett and Selwood. The Cats winning back-to-back games for the first time since June 7 last year. The Suns' winning run comes to an end, but the big story out of this one, a dislocated right shoulder to young star Matt Rowell, and we wish him all the best and hope he's back out on the field wowing us again very soon. Time now for Saturday night football at Marvel Stadium, and the Western Bulldogs in North Melbourne were set for battle. After a shaky start to the season, the Dogs have found their groove the last 2 weeks, while the Roos can't afford another slow start after last week's narrow loss to Hawthorn.
Wants to go quickly. The signs are good, Vandermeer. Long ball to a hot spot. Tarrant to come in with the fist. Good mark, Bruce. Really good mark. The forwards look on.
Applied some good pressure. He handled it pretty nicely back there too to Jasper Pitter, but Toby McLean, Bailey Smith just didn't see it coming and got nailed. Atley got him.
For the Kangaroos first. Might just be fanning its way across the front, and a mark taken by Big Goldie. To half forward. Walker loves to mark the ball, but couldn't hang on to that one. Now he's got to find a teammate. He can't. Lots of dogs around this, Dale. One of them flicks it out the back. And Vandermeer sticks it through.
It's been paid to Jamie McMillan. You can hear Ray Chamberlain. No genuine attempt. He's got Darren Thomas. Oh, what about that leap? He's landed awkwardly. Let's hope he's okay. He looks a bit stunned. Incredible athleticism. Ben Brown, cleverly done. Cunnington trying to fight on. Got it to Goldstein, steps around. Goldie's got the goal. Look at this leap from Tarrant Thomas, but it's when his legs got taken out from under him. Down a long way, the big man took a nice grab.
Exit kick's pretty good. 20 seconds, they can go all the way here, the Dogs, and this would really hurt the Kangaroos after an extended period in their forward half. Shaki, can he get the left foot to it? Bruce has been really good, and that's frontal contact. You'd expect him to kick it, and he has. Big half a footy for Josh Bruce and the Western Bulldogs. This is the kick they need to get right. Cunnington's got to park himself under the ball. Hard to get out of a gallop, but wrapped up is Dale.
Holding the ball.
And there's a holding the ball. Haven't had that many looks at it, North, so they've got to make the most of them. And that's right through the middle. Got it to Dale. Long ball now. Walker and Shaki. Bruce came in. Where does he go with the footy? He just wheels and goes. It's going to bounce, and Shaki's going to go off the ground.
Take your time, Shaq.
So there is Ben Cunnington. We focused a lot on him tonight. Fitness test pre-game. Has battled clearly with injury tonight. And Ed Richards picks it up, and that is 3 in a row for the Dogs.
The ball use inside 50, as he said at half-time, just didn't give them a chance to get the score on the board.
Beautiful pickup from Johannesson. Lipinski, space is Bruce, and he got on the end. Traded by St Kilda to the Bulldogs for a second and third round pick. Just the 2 goals this year prior to tonight. Now lining up for his 5th of the night. Josh Bruce, good looking ball. Can he slide it home? He's got 5. He played on the wing and half forward to the VFL. He's making a great fist of AFL for English. Tim English, what about that? Big clunk. McDonald just kicked it into the face of Liberatore. Touched play on to the call. Crozier from the side. That's young Curtis Taylor. Performances in the VFL. They love him at North Melbourne. Deserves the goal. And Curtis Taylor puts it straight through. No, he's played on. Forgot that there was a man standing right next to him then, John. Not sure how that happened. They get it back to McLean. He's going to go short, wide, and Mitch Wallace. Well, he's juggled maybe a little cleverly. Richo gained an extra 4 or 5 metres. That's Martin coming off. You might have been a bit lucky. That had a little bit of sling in the manner that Stevie J made famous. The right foot snap round the body, and Mitch Wallace has nailed it.
Advantage paid. It'll get to the back. And they'll go inside 50 again, and this has been the difference.
Look at the marks inside 50. Tells the story of the night.
To make it 49 points. And that looks really good.
Josh Bruce, if you don't mind, 6 goals, a stunning performance from the ex-Saint in what was the Dogs' 3rd win on the trot. They are just flying at the moment. The Roos, though, have slumped to their 3rd loss in a row. And to make matters worse, star Ben Cunnington, who withdrew from North's past 2 games, finished the match on the bench, the coach admitting later it was the wrong call to play him. Over to the Gabba for the other Saturday night game, a mouth-watering top-of-the-table clash between the undefeated Power and the Brisbane Lions. Port Adelaide lost both of their encounters to the Lions last year. Will their hot streak come to an end?
Tom Berry back in the team with Zorko injured. Raiders kick deep and McStay in the right spot takes the mark. 5 goals straight for the year. Dan McStay kicks his 6th. Bailey an opportunity. Charlie's trying to let loose. McStay again, an avenue into attack. And look at the running from Hipwood. He's got the momentum. He sets it up. Tom Berry versus McKenzie and Rayner. For Leicester to Berry. Gone. Martin just kicked it in hope and Tom Berry gets met heavily by Hartlett. Is it 50? Let go.
I don't know if he deliberately cannoned into him. He was coming on an angle, was he? Looking at the ball, and the other bloke got there too soon.
Speaking of cannons, McKenzie drives right down the middle of the ground. So attacking mindset for Port might pay dividends here. Clever for Power Pepper. And the lead is on from Gray. Mentioned earlier, just 1 goal so far for the year, Robbie Gray. 1 goal, 2. But he's too good to be kept down like that. McInerney again. Berry on the move. Nice take and release to half forward. Hipwood looming. Large. Turning. And giving it plenty.
Squeeze from Brisbane has been superb.
Not quite on the same wavelength there, and Charlie Cameron, you can't give him space.
They're really flipping it around. I suspect Neil would have been in the forward pocket.
Hipwood against Cleary, Tom Berry, Bailey, yes! Another one! The kick into the 50, all important. Body contact by Leicester, subdued Gray initially, Gray fights on. Leicester tries to go out of the air and can pay the penalty. Butters! Berry with a rush kick, Rayner got a piece of it. McCarthy! Oh, what a goal and what a blow! A body blow! So can Port change that around? The start of the third quarter, it's same as you were. The kick goes in from Lyons. Kicked his first goals of the year last week with a couple, and now he's got two more in the frame.
The defender, the bloke behind, gives away free kicks.
Cameron sets sail. McStay, almost uncontested. McCluggage hits the target. Hasn't done that too often this year.
A one-on-one.
Marshall came late, impacted the contest. Rosie, not going his own. Across the body, he has sublime skills.
He can do it at both ends.
Farrell through the middle. They start to chain things up. Boak again. High ball, Butters. Yes! Back to the wing. Berry's hands were terrific. Charlie's off. He revs and rides up with one bounce and then kicks to full forward. Hard to stop him from there, Hipwood, but well done. Bailey underneath. Hand pass. Mitchie Robinson will get it. Burchell gives him another one to go on with as they're on the move from the stoppage. Boat tried to just mosey on through, and Rockcliffe, as long as it didn't hit Ollie Wines, that's a goal. Gil McLaughlin talked about it. This potentially is going to be a huge positive for football in the northern states with so many teams going up there.
Don't do anything because he's getting dragged back an extra 50 there.
Now, this could well be the one that breaks the drought for Lockie now. He's had 9 points in a row.
You'd do that, Lynchy.
Oh, no, I haven't got that lair.
To finish off another great night for the Brisbane Lions. Lockie Neal.
A terrific win for the Lions at home. The Power had no answer for their talls up forward. That's their 4th consecutive win now for the Lions and the first loss for Port in 2020. From the top of the table to the cellar dwellers we go now. Neither Adelaide or Fremantle have tasted success in 2020, both with new coaches desperate to get the 4 points. One team was finally going to get the chocolates in this one at Metricon Stadium. Who would it be?
So I've noticed umpires have been pretty good at spotting players that are playing for those kicks.
Puts it to the pocket. Lippers go up. Lobb got hands on it. Ball to the back. Brayshaw caught. Gave it up just in time. And he's a known goal kicker, Sam Sturt. Logue did pretty well in the end until that kick. And then he dribbled it. But found Hogan, so it's fantastic. He drives it long into space. Walters, superb. Plays on. Open goal. A dribbler. McHenry didn't want to take the shot himself. Went with a handball to McAdam. Oh, he's about to be run down. Was that a kick? Hit his knee. Huge kick this for Lockie Murphy's confidence. For the Crows' confidence, and that is bizarre. They're the worst possession team in the comp. Brad Crouch gets away, hands it up to Smith. Ran into a gang tackle. Mundy drags him down. Gone. More possession football. They're wide. They're about to send it top of the square. And Lobb struts in a couple of little stutter steps and drives through. Fremantle getting players back in the hole. Frampton sets it up, top of the square. Big moment. Almost it is the mark. Finally, siren sounds. In he struts, kicks the goal. They were late to the party, Adelaide.
And there's bad news for the Fremantle Dockers.
Reece Conker, is it?
Reece Conker's out with the left hamstring.
Sturt heads long with that ball. Top of the square. One-on-one. Lob. Huge grab. There's those little stutter steps. That's his normal routine. Frampton got up, but he couldn't mark it this time. Young tried to thread a handball through. Frampton. Frampton comes alive. Frampton starting to find it. To Sloan on the run. Can he hit a chest? Puts it out in front of the runner. McAdam. Open goal. Slams it home. Scores a level, and McAdam gets his first in AFL footy. A little roller. Aish. Darcy. He spanks it. And he found a target, Taberner, that they could overrun Fremantle. Taberner spears that through the middle. So Taberner's forward. Big leap.
Oh,
Walton
he did.
takes a monster. He climbed into the blue.
Geez, he went up early.
I think he was coming down as his foot got his first touch. What a grab.
Hits the deck, lobbed it brilliantly. Tucker ran into a brick wall, but he bounced off like a rubber ball. Brayshaw out wide. Wilson, this could be the knockout blow. Plenty of time. Doesn't want to waste it. Hands it to Sturt. He looks up.
The overlap.
Players in space, and he hits Tucker. Full allotment of time. Then runs in. Then strikes it pretty well. Bang. And he's got it there. And Fremantle will win their first game of 2020.
Justin Longmuir getting his first win as senior coach. The Dockers getting the job done without their skipper Nat Fife. An inaccurate Crows side left to rue their missed opportunities as they remain winless for 2020. Now, Sunday's game between Richmond and Melbourne at the MCG was significant. It would be the last game of footy played in Victoria for at least the next 5 weeks, with all 10 Victorian clubs to enter hubs after this round. The Tigers have certainly had their woes since the season resumed. Is the Dimmer dynasty over, or can they rediscover their mojo?
Back to Cochin. Here's the debutant in Jake Arts. Little ball around the corner, finds the number one man. Tigers away on Sunday football.
Harms to Petrarca. Wide to Fridge, left footer. Return to the boundary line. Have a look at Melksham. He can go all the way. And that's as good at one end to the other as you'll see.
Pickett sets himself. Big fly from Pickett! He didn't get anywhere near that, but that was really exciting.
Probably should have given the handball to Castagna. Went the low kick. Gee, Lynch shouldn't have dropped that. Castagna tidies it up. Gets it out. Higgins to make amends. And he does. Tigers still under pressure. Melbourne got the numbers around this contest. Little handball from Harms to Petrarca. Back to Pickett. Pickett, this time beautiful presentation to Fridge coming at him. And just a second or two left here on the way. Plenty of altitude. Won't quite get there. Gone on the line. Even a bit further out. Little fresh area. I think he got it the first game, or is he? Let's have a listen. It's going to go to the arc. Yep, that's hit the post. So I think that back heel donkey kick, a la Lloydie, won't be his first goal in foot. Hooley goes very wide to Caddy. No one in front of him. Dusty's there, gives it to Dusty. Right on 50, didn't go for home. Sets up Higgins. Beautiful controlled kick from Martin. Handball or short kick finds Castagna directly in front.
And Curvis and Gawn, shoulder to shoulder. Gawn just threw him out of the way, but Lambert ends up with the football. He's a craftsman. There's just a heap of Tigers around the ball now. Rioli chooses and goes low. Lambert quickly moves it on. Martin, Hibbert, Martin always going to win the one-on-one battle.
Handball back inside, little loose. Dusty makes it look good, that's nice. Short, Edwards, has he got enough on it to Castagna? He has. That handball's turned over. Now Fridge couldn't get the handball off quick enough, but the kick around the corner. Jimmy, I'm sensing something's going on. Has Hannon lumped into a goal, Jimmy. They've kicked 2 in a row, the Demons.
They've got the ball in a dangerous man's hands. Reaver had it knocked away from him. Oliver stops. Gets out of the way of Higgins. Little handball to Smith. Lambert, the smother, the goal, the brilliance, a quick response.
Bit of an injury concern for the Tigers. Big Nat Curvis coming off the ground after that crunching tackle in the middle of the ground.
What can the Demons do in the middle of the ground? Through hands to Hannon. Now to Petrarca. Long ball is on. Short ball is chosen to McDonald. Couple of goals in the opening round. One last weekend against the Cats. Demons needed it. Tom delivers. Terrible news from a Tigers perspective. The best and fairest from last year going straight down the rooms.
Higgins goes long and deep. Lynch has got the back over the back. He's got it. 6.5 minutes left. And that's straight through the eye, diddle. Oliver, horrible kick to Petrarca. Horrible. Rioli back inside to Rewalt. The only man left standing. Lynch to seal and win the game.
Let's hope, fingers crossed. I know Dion's old man Ozzy's a Melbourne supporter, so he'll be disappointed with that. He'll be very, very concerned about his son. Here comes Jack Higgins. Rode on the top of May, slapped the ball forward. Lynch Edwards, here's a chance. Lambert!
The Tigers back on the winners list for the first time since round one, but it has come at a huge cost with injuries to skipper Trent Cotchin, midfielder Dion Prestia and ruckman Toby Nankervis. For the D's, the loss once again highlighting their inability to finish 43 inside 50s for just 12 scoring shots. Big problems there for Simon Goodwin. Let's hope they get that sorted out very quickly. To the final game of the round now in GWS and the Hawks at Giants Stadium. Last year when these two sides met in Canberra, it snowed. Hawthorn getting the better of the Giants that day with slightly better conditions though on Sunday. Could GWS return serve?
Runs the big arc, Jeremy Cameron, and gives it plenty down to Himmelberg. Had to wait on the bounce. What a turn! He left McAvoy in his wake and caught that! There's a highlight for you. 5 goals for the year so far, and that could be his best. Now, Haitley, who goes directly towards full forward and directly to Finlayson. Not cleanly anyway. O'Meara starting to rack them up towards the top of the square. Shaw had the clean fly at the ball, but there's plenty of Hawks, and that man knows how to snaffle one. That was not a good kick, and Haynes has crept forward. He's inside, he pokes it to the square. That was a disaster as far as Hawthorn are concerned. Finlayson's kick 3. To the top of the square, Giants well stocked. McAvoy came late, had an impact. Segler had to get out of the way of Isaac Smith, and by the time he wound up, he was always going to be a victim. 2 goals to 1 quarter in Hawthorn's favour. Green loses it to Warple. Sockers into the pocket. Lewis looking to lay it off. Piopolo just keeps it in and then goes to work. He almost dropped the baton. Trying to get them repaired and back out there. Mumford pulling his way. Got rid of McAvoy. Got foot to ball and put it through. What an explosive start. Seems like he gets umpired differently, Toby Green. He gets all these free kicks. High ball to the square. Finlayson waiting at the back and he takes another.
Yours down the middle.
Good kick from Scully. They gather, and there's a great strong mark by McAvoy. He's playing it full forward now. Go back and kick a goal. This one's just going to hold its line. Haynes, Burgoyne. Nice looking kick, but oh yes, he's got it. 27 points of difference. Mumford used his head, but so does O'Meara in a different way. Out of the middle, it's deep again. Big boys around. Is there a free? No, oh, there was. They've taken it away. Davis back to the wing, but it's coming back again. Hardwick. And is Gunston within range? Yes, that's the question. Yep, that's a lot more manageable. He's been a reliable source of goals over the years. He's kicked 3. Mumford reaches in. Green and Shields go to battle.
Toby Green got him in a tackle and landed on him.
Yeah, Shields is feeling the pain. And he finds Jeremy Cameron.
It's a long round the corner.
1-1-2, and his first one of the night.
Get another outburst.
Haitley with a high ball, clamouring for a Cameron. He's got it. Oh, it's one of those fantastic marks that gets universal acclamation. And he finishes it off.
A dominant performance from last year's grand finalists. That's 2 wins in a row now as they look to gain some momentum. The Hawks now to regroup as they enter Hub Life, a Friday night blockbuster against the Pies, their next chance for redemption. And that's where we leave it for another week. That was your Round 5 recap. We will be back next week. In the meantime, stick with us here on afl.com.au and the AFL Live app for all of your footy news.